Hey crypto fam, another week, another stacked calendar. So what's the macro right now? You can see US stock prices and oil markets is being affected by Iran's conflict. We saw that US oil has raised 30% in 24 hours, which is like the most change in the price in the last 43 years of crude oil prices. So that's how the market is moving on. And you can see these changes dripping into crypto markets too. And in all this chaos, we have brought you some news which was talk of the town in crypto circles for this week. Welcome back to Block Talk.
The first news that we have is no KYC crypto cards rise amid complaints concern. So why is everyone suddenly talking about the crypto cards and identity verification? And the experts are also saying that as a ticking time bomb. Why is it so, Vaishnav?
So recently there was a controversy around off-grid. So off-grid is a non-KYC Visa card provider who marketed themselves as a privacy enhancing tool to the public. Led by Julius Gagnon, launched 31st of January 2026 with custom card promises for first 500 users. They claim they had $200K around beta volume, and they have massive huge wait list too. But till now, there have been no updates from the initial claims, and people are very skeptical about will this card ever come out. So that's the thing.
So what's the basic fundamental problem in this, and why can't someone build an anonymous Visa card?
So if you go through card networks,
Sir.
even if we see in our country, there are three major networks. There is Visa, MasterCard and RuPay. Even RuPay only recently came by Indian government's initiative. Or else Visa and MasterCard has a duopoly market over the entire world. If you want your transactions to happen via card, either you should have a Visa card or a MasterCard, right? So, and these providers tie up with licensed bank and they are bound to AML rules. AML means anti-money laundering rules, and every card is being tied up with a licensed bank, which can be traced by their BIN. BIN is in the sense, whatever card number you have, it has some sequence of numbers from which you can trace which bank has issued the card. Now, what these companies use as loophole is, these no KYC cards are actually corporate business cards. So they do light verification of their business, register that with a bank, and then they issue cards to their employees. But here the thing is, those are not actual employees. Customers are enrolled as stake employees in documentation.
Like you.
Yeah. So here, legitimate businesses use these cards so that people in their company can use it for hotel expenses, company expenses, etc. Each individual can. But these no KYC crypto companies take the loophole of it, and even if you see the card, it will be written as business platinum and kind of, or commercial, Visa commercial. And the user never ever can regulate the account. Once you send the money, it's like the money's control is out of your hands. You are sending the money and the company takes responsibility of the money in hand. And banks also trust that companies would have some KYC details of the customers. This is how this works.
So this actually sounds like a legal gray area. Is it actually illegal or a legal thing, Vaishnav?
So it depends on how. So crypto non-KYC cards is actually treading the illegal line, because you get your license based on that you will use it for legitimate purposes. But what actually here happens is three phases occurs. Like there are three cycles. So if you take the life cycle of this whole company, at first there is honeypot phase, where they attract new users by like marketing their product out.
Like giving a hype that doesn't exist.
Yes. And they are little quiet about it because at first itself, if you get more eyeballs on you, then you fast track yourself to getting banned. So first honeypot phase occurs. Then after the card becomes little famous, then regulatory attack comes. Like anybody from Visa, in Visa from Visa itself, they can register into that program. They can get a card, then they can verify, right? They will trace back how this card who is issuing, they will trace back and they will raise a complaint within their company that someone is misusing our network. Then at last what happens is either the company forces KYC into the users. Like if you KYC, you can get the funds, or the company completely ghosts everyone. And if you see case studies of these, there are like, there was a famous company called Astropic, and they dabbled with this idea. They were giving out non-KYC cards, and within 6 months, they got their license banned. So that's how it's going on.
So is there any way to spend this crypto privately without any risk?
Yes. So actual legal way to do this is either you should have tightly capped prepaid cards, like cards which has upper bound limit, like they will have a limit of $4,000. Above that, you can't transact with it. Or you can buy gift cards. That's how Bitreful is a company where you can use crypto to buy gift cards, and you can use that to spend those gift cards, because gift cards, you can't have gift cards for like lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Amazon gift card, I think the max you can get is 10,000 rupees, right? So either prepaid cards with a limit or gift cards. That's how you can spend it in a legal way.
Okay. So what is a major key takeaway that we are going to take from the first segment?
And I also want to add something else. Like I said, these two are the recent ways you can do, right? And if you want proper alternative methods in a structural manner, there are companies like Colossus Pay, who are trying to directly mitigate the use of Visa and MasterCard. If you see the payment gateway, there is banks, there is card providers, then there is POS terminal providers. Like there is company like Worldline, like who provides the devices in shops to get your card done, right? So those are different companies. What Colossus Pay is doing is, instead of tying up with MasterCard or Visa, they're directly talking with the POS companies and want to directly integrate their own cards, like a new network of cards. This is how you can get out from the traditional rails, reduce the fees, and also come up with actually privacy preserving things.
The second news we have is Vitalik questions Ethereum's impact, urges sanctuary tech. So what is with his statement, and why hasn't Ethereum actually improved anyone's life? So what's behind this existential crisis of Ethereum?
So this question is being everlasting through all the podcasts, if you see, because we talk about crypto a lot, but have it directly impacted anyone's life over here, like in a very meaningful manner? Yeah, that's doubtful at least. Mostly no. Sometimes I rarely use crypto, like it's not a very necessary segment of my life. It's like if I need, I can. If I don't want, it's okay. So that's what Vitalik is also expressing out in his latest tweet. And Ethereum has built a sovereign, debasement-proof financial system, but that still leaves most of the humanity's deep worries unaddressed. So he also gives out some examples which are actually liberating people. Like there is Signal. Signal is an encrypted messaging app which many people use for private conversations. There is Starlink, which gives you uninterrupted internet access from anywhere in the world if you have their dish. Without fiber net. For now, if you need internet, you need at least cell towers or fiber net, right? Satellite internet was a dream, but that has come true. And in war-torn areas, those kind of technologies really help people out to stay connected with the internet. Third is community nodes. Community nodes, if you are a very active user of X, you can see if anybody tweets something, below you can post a note saying that this is false or they are misleading, this is the true stuff. So you can give some extra context to all the people and you can curb the spread of misinformation, which is really good. And fourth, he is saying is local open weight LLMs. Like now, normal people are okay with using ChatGPT or Claude from the cloud. But if I need some heavy workforce workload and I need LLM usage, I can't be paying so much credits I can be paying so much money for the API credits.
Right.
So local LLMs have enabled you to run ChatGPT kind of software within your own local systems and get outputs from it without even the use of internet. So these kind of liberating technologies are there existing in world, but Ethereum has not become one of them.
So what are exactly the sanctuary technologies?
So the concept is free open source tools which let people live, work, communicate, build wealth, and collaborate in ways which is robust to outside pressure. Sanctuary, if you see, you can think it as a greenhouse. Like whatever happens in world, whatever it may happen outside your so-called sanctuary, it should not disturb the way you live, the way you collaborate. That's what Ethereum is targeting on.
Like if we are in war, even if the government is restricting our communication or
Yes.
access to information,
Yes.
we should be able to get those. So he was trying to build a technology that should help people in these kind of areas where they can help themselves to communicate with outside
Yes,
people in
yes.
a critical situation.
Yes.
Okay, right, I got it.
Okay.
Create digital islands of stability in chaotic era. Prevent anyone from having total control. It's not Ethereum should win or become a dominant force. It's like it should not allow anyone to become a dominant force.
Even if it's the government.
Yes. That's the goal.
And why is Vitalik particularly mentioning Ethereum to do differently? There are developers of the Ethereum.
So what points he is telling out is don't try to be the next Apple or Google. Don't centralize to compete on UI and UX.
What?
You should actually focus on finding users who need sanctuary tech. It's not like there is a difference between need and want. Crypto is a want for me, but it's actually needs for people who are dissidents of some country. Like if some country banishes you, then you go to another country, right? You lose your passport and everything. They should be able to use it. Journalists who are in very critical situations and they can't leak their identity out, but still they need to pass the users. So we should find users like them who actually need these kind of tech.
So who will be our major target users for this?
Yeah, journalists, people in rural areas, people who can be easily controlled by the government, and there are rights to communicate with outside countries has been above by the government. These technologies will be a boon to them.
The final segment that we are going to talk is the US Treasury recognizes legal uses of crypto mixers. So the US Treasury has told the Congress something surprising about the crypto mixers to what has changed completely. Vaishwan?
So the report titled Innovative Technologies to Combat Illicit Finance Involving Digital Assets have acknowledged that there is legal users of digital assets can utilize mixers to protect financial privacy while transacting through public blockchains. So what kind of use cases they are trying to tell from this line is crypto mixers is so every transaction in most of the public blockchains is out to the public. If they know my wallet address, they can track what I buy. It's it's funny in a manner because let's say if I go to a mall, everybody is buying some stuff. It's private, it's private to them. If you are with somebody, you can see that what kind of products they are buying, but it's within them. Nobody's announcing it. But in blockchain, it's like if I buy something, it gets announced out. So if it's like you are in a mall, but every time somebody buys something, it announces that Jenna has bought a water bottle from this shop. Vaishnav has bought a Hot Wheels car. Like, this feels little unsettling over there, right? It will be like, why everybody should know what I'm buying from my own money. But this problem is there in crypto. So while using crypto mixers, you can obfuscate the transaction routes. You can maintain confidentiality in business payments. You can handle sensitive charitable donations anonymously. So these are some legitimate use cases where you can use crypto mixers.
Okay, so this looks like a big shift from the Tornado Cash sanction that
Yes.
happened in 2022. So what's the nuance here?
Okay. So why we bought this topic is, but actually there was a mixer called Tornado Cash, and that developer was arrested by the government and he is still in jail.
Oh,
And now they are saying that there is also legal ways in which you can use mixers. So now people are telling like, okay, government now only knows this stuff. So why he is in jail? So what's the nuance over here is, there is two kinds of mixer. There is custodial and non-custodial ones. Custodial ones are who already registered themselves as money services businesses with FinCEN, which is a department of US Gov. And Tornado Cash, those come under non-custodial or decentralized mixers where they can operate, but still if you use them, government will suspect that you use them for cybercrime or evasion of sanctions. So this is the key distinction between two types of mixer.
like for hiding their money laundering transactions.
Yeah, so if you use the non-custodial ones, government will doubt. They are telling you should use custodial mixers. That's allowed.
Okay.
You can do that, but under me. That's fine.
What's interesting is that all three stories we discussed today revolve around the same core tension in the crypto industry: the balance between privacy, innovation, and regulation. The rise of so-called no-KYC crypto cards show how quickly new ideas can grab attention in crypto space, but it also highlights the structural limits of trying to rebuild anonymous financial tools on top of traditional payment networks. And finally, the US Treasury's acknowledgement that crypto mixers can have legitimate privacy users shows that even regulators are beginning to recognize the privacy itself is not always suspicious. And that's it for today's Blog Talk episode. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Bye.